Last time on She Rules the Waves, we started our buddy boating trip through Blekinge and celebrated the captain's birthday on the island of Orna. This time we head further east and south, down to the very corner of the archipelago, where we spend a few days before heading back towards Karlskrona, where we visit the Marine Museum before heading back home for some land life. She Rules the Waves has reached a milestone since the last episode, but before Lazie tells you more about that, don't forget to subscribe.
Aye, you might call it a milestone. We passed 500 subscribers, you can. We appreciate a lot of you. And I thought I'd also tell you to visit our other social media, like Instagram, Facebook, and Patreon. And of course our very own website, sherulesthewaves.com. Visit them all and keep in touch. Or keep me touched, as I like to say. Gun yourself. You can do this.
Though I was now 1 year older than yesterday, I woke up to another stunning day on Orna. After a slow start, a little breakfast and some morning swimming, we decided that it was time to move on. We sailed down to the southeast corner of Blekinge and the village of Stenshamn. I hope I was able to catch the feel and the sounds of this amazing cruise between the islands with this footage. Upon arriving in the harbor, we ran into some trouble though. The small ferries that service all the islands have a tendency to kick up some mud along the bottom with their propellers. This can lead to kind of hills or mud dunes building up along the piers. As you can see on the map, I actually get stuck quite a few times in the mud before finally finding a place deep enough for my 175 centimeters by the middle pier. But as soon as we were safely tied up, it was time to hit the water, Karate Kid style. In the distance, we could see the actual southeast point of Sweden, Utklippan. But while the sun was slowly setting, we got a visit from the Sea Rescue Association. Our neighbors had some trouble with their engine and decided they needed some help to get out on open water. Their starter motor was apparently burnt, and they needed to be towed out to be able to set sails for the sail back to their home port of Karlskrona. Luckily, their son was able to meet them there if they needed to be towed into the marina.
Lycka till!
Lycka till!
Ja, det gör det. Ja, det är bra. Det blir inte behöver inte boxeras hela vägen. Ni behöver inte boxeras hela vägen. Ja, skönt. Lycka till!
Before bed, I went for a short walk, and I found these leading lights that I tried to demonstrate how they work. See the 2 lights and the 1 light line up, you know you're on the right track. The next morning we all slept in, but eventually we woke up to a pretty grey day. I decided to make a super healthy brunch for the kids. Even though it was grey and wet, I still decided to go for a run in the beautiful surroundings. This little boathouse slash cafe, where they apparently count the number of groundings the sailors do in the area, only opens when the ferry arrives, so we had to defy the weather to get some ice cream anyway. But then, when the rain stopped, it was time to go for a walk down to the lighthouse. Towards the evening, most of the clouds had disappeared, and the sun was once again shining upon us. The boys got the idea that we should have tacos for dinner, and besides taking a little break with the drone, I was not late to oblige. Tacos!
Yeah!
Taco Wednesday. Beef taco, chicken taco,
Nacho chips.
nacho chips. The next morning it was time to move on once again. This time our goal was Torhamn, another quaint little village where a couple of friends of my parents live. It's now very windy today. Yeah, not much sailing unfortunately. But one interesting thing on our route was this cable ferry that we had to pass. The cables run in the water and pull the ferry back and forth, so you have to look out for the blinking lights before you pass. Yeah, I really don't want to find out what happens if your keel is right above those cables when they tighten them. We were really lucky that a Dutch boat was about to cast off just as we arrived in this tiny little harbor. We got a great spot, and then Kajsa sailed in a little later and tied up alongside us. We went for a swim on a nearby beach, and to the restaurant for some refreshments. We also get a visit from my parents' friends, and then, of course, another breathtaking sunset. They never cease to amaze me. The next morning we were off again for the last leg of this part of the journey. We left Kajsa in a borrowed slip in Torhamn and headed back for Karlskrona. Although the colors of this grey day might not be that vibrant, I'm going to leave you with the sounds and pictures of this trip. We had some time in Karlskrona to visit the Marine Museum before Ida was coming to pick the boys up. Oj, vad många den sköter.
Vad stor den här ubåten var. Kolla pappa, det är din ubåt. Den lilla pulsen. Hoppa.
And of course, we had time for one more ride. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow Lazie's advice from earlier. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, when I'm joined by an all grown-up crew, take care.